ask a question like worst case scenario, and they talk about 15 minutes, you'll listen for 15 minutes. Then you're in minute 15. Although sometimes it's like minute 5 or minute 6. They got some people are like, that's the answer. Others just want to have like the story. It depends. It always depends. What I know is, after 2 years of doing that, you will have like the same answers all over the place. Because you know that product so well. So, first question is your story. Like third or second question is what's the ideal situation? And then the worst case scenario. These 3 questions you want to have in. All the rest of the questions, you can use one of your 7 questions. And it will depend. Normally in the sales training, they tell you like, you ask questions in the beginning, and then you stop, and then you start selling. What we're doing here is, you ask questions all the way. Gathering intelligence is something you do until the end. You always start with the closing, and you gather intelligence, and you stay rapport, and you want them to stay between the lines, not talking about anything else. We can talk about holidays, wait a date, but here, we're professionals. That's what we're doing. Okay? So that's the 7 questions. The facial expressions. They got literature on the expressions. When somebody is mad, how is he reacting? You get like books on that. So you can do research and get like, these are like the 6 basic human expressions that are common all over the world. Not only in Belgium, not only in the Netherlands, not only in Luxembourg, it's like all over the world. Somebody's happy, always face up, eyebrows. Some people, when they're happy, they go, might happen. Okay? Then you notice that one? That's an easy one. But sometimes you get like people that are totally out of emotion. They put their emotion in front of them, and they're happy, and they go, just like the little thing. And you have to notice it. So sometimes it's very difficult to notice the right things, but you're a sales professional. You know how to do that, don't you? We did the food exercise. The next thing you're going to do is you're going to use a transition. Well, based on everything you just told me, it sounds like this is a perfect fit for you. Somebody is doing that, and then going to the presentation, had a few questions in, and go like, well, based on what you told me, this is a perfect fit for you. Ever done that? What sentence do you use?
Yeah, I first rephrase a little bit of the conversation. So, as I understand it, blah, 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 and then I come up with the thing.
Say the phrase in Dutch you're using normally.
Nou, dus normaal vat ik even samen van een stukje van
You phrase it?
even afstemmen. Ja. En dan kom ik met, en daarvoor hebben we, daarvoor zou dit misschien interessant kunnen zijn.
Ja. So, this is a level further. You can come up here. Or use this chair. Give me some things of your... No, it's not working anymore. It's like work, don't work.
Een batterijtje aan.
Ja, zat er niet meer in.
Daar heb je er een.
Heb je er eentje? Oh. Ja, dat is het. Zit ik nu al op hol? Dankjewel.
Nog een halve dag te wachten.
That's...
Ja.
I'm happy. So, can I actually...
That point,
Draaien, ja. Omdraaien. Oké. Ben het andersom dan bij mij? So what I want is like the ideal situation in and worst case. What I'm going to ask here is about the worst case. I'm going to sit down so we're like a little bit in rapport. You're the doctor. You can tell me whatever you want. So make up a story. So tell me about it.
Well, the worst case scenario for me would probably be if we start something new and it turns out to be a disaster because line sepsis is all over the place and costs are rising. So I'm pretty keen on keeping things the way they are right now.
Okay, if you keep it away right now, what's the worst case there?
The worst case there is that we don't send people home in an early stage, for example. So we keep them in hospital a little bit longer than we probably should be.
Well, it sounds okay to me. You got one case per person you kept in the hospital?
Yeah, I got several
Give me
cases.
one.
Well, for example, somebody had a line in the neck, the central line, and perhaps...
What's her name? What I'm trying to do is get into worst case scenario. It's just like, and that's normal because here we're like playing, acting, but if I'm with a doctor, if I want to hear the worst case scenario, I want to hear the worst case scenario of as is now. So I'm going to ask you, okay, you got this patient, it has a name, when did it happen? Something like that.
3 months ago.
3 months ago?
I don't remember a patient's name.
If he doesn't remember the patient's name, it's not a worst case scenario. Worst case scenario, they stick in your brain like glue. So you want to have the worst case scenario.
Okay.
I'm really going to, yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Well, her name was Anita Jans.
Marike Janssen. Oh, how old was she?
18 years old.
What happened?
Well, she had to go to the ICU and stay longer and longer, and eventually she missed out on her wedding, etc.
Oh my God.
It was really bad.
He's not telling me about his worst case scenario. If I get a doctor here, worst case scenario, the scenario, I got some scenarios in there, will sound like I had to go, had to put it in, came back down, already the nurse was cleaning up something, got the needle out again, so I had to go back up. Worst case scenarios are what they will explain during 5 minutes what happened, how many times.
Worst scenario, they just put it in your face. You know what happened? Da, 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 da.
So they'll put that right into your face.
Yeah.
So that's what you want to really focusing on. That's the worst case scenario. From this worst case scenario, I want to remember a few words. And I want to use it. And if you're saying, based on everything you just told me, I'm not going to say the general idea, based on what you told me. Based on the experience you had with Marek. And if you don't want to have that experience anymore, then I think this story might just be perfect for you. See?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Do you see where I'm going? So what we want to do is we want to tie in the stories into this phrase. And you want the ideal situation. Catherine, you said like, what would the ideal situation be for them not to go back up, or you had like a story on there? No, that's a... No, that's okay. So, what would be ideal for you is maybe you can be home in the weekend with your kids, or maybe you can schedule it so you got like a strict policy when you can people have come in to put in the IV, put in the... So we go like, if you really want to be able to plan your day and be home in the weekend with your kids, and if you don't want that you have to come back for Marike because, and that she will miss her wedding, then I think that this product will be a perfect, or this will be a perfect fit for you. You see how you tie it in? It's always a different sentence they use, always be like a different ideal situation, a different worst case situation, You want to take both, you want to tie them in, and then say like, and then you can go on to the presentation. Is that okay? Sounds easy? Easy enough?
Yes.
I want you to practice it. Go with 3 people. One is going to be the doctor. If you have like, the worst case scenario is the actual scenario what they're in today. It's not the worst case scenario when you would be. Yeah, if you want to have the worst case scenario, go for the pick easy, then this and this and this will happen. So you want to have the worst case scenario when they're actually living out now. And you want to have the best case scenario when you actually are not doing this anymore. Some don't know the best case scenario, just will go for the worst case. Is that okay? In teams of 3, try to get the sentence in. Like, this is the best. If you want to have this, and you don't want to have this, then what I'm going to tell you is like the perfect fit, or it's exactly right for you. Is that okay?